Good morning, Exeter. Welcome to the 9/11 ceremony. Welcome students, guests, and staff. Will you please rise for the singing of the national anthem?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Good morning, Exeter. Thank you for gathering here in a quiet and respectful manner. I'd like to welcome you to our 9/11 assembly. I'd like to start by thanking the board members and district administrators for joining us today. On the field with us are representatives in the Exeter Township Police Department, Lifeline Emergency Services, and our fire department. Thank you for being here. Before we begin our 9/11 ceremony, I'd like to pause to remember a world leader whose place in history will likely be noted for her ability to bring stability to periods of conflict and turmoil. England's Queen Elizabeth died yesterday after 7 years on the throne. She was a leader through much of the Cold War and 2 decades after 9/11. She served as a symbolic and influential partner to America. Our sympathies are with the people of Great Britain and Commonwealth of Nations. Will you please pause for a moment of silence to remember Queen Elizabeth as a world leader? Thank you. September 11th, 2001 was a beautiful late summer morning, very much like today's. Our country and our world suffered the shock of the terrorist attacks on the World Trade Center, the Pentagon, and Flight 93's crash in Shanksville, PA. For your parents, your teachers, myself, each of us knows exactly where we were when we heard that news. The days that unfolded after that event brought great uncertainty. Our nation grieved, and as tragedy often does, the attacks brought us closer together as a country. We are now more than 2 decades out. As students, none of you were alive on September 11th, 2001. But all of us live in the shadow of that day. We face the real and ongoing challenge of terrorism, and I encourage you to take the time to speak to your teachers and parents about their experience and memories of that day. The first responders and soldiers who made great sacrifices on 9/11 and every day since then deserve that we take the time to learn, to understand, and to reflect. Thank you for coming together as a community to do just that. It is now my honor to introduce Mr. Ziegler, a social studies teacher and Army veteran, to speak about his experiences surrounding 9/11. Will you please join me in welcoming Mr. Ziegler?
Good morning, Exeter community, students, and staff. 21 years ago Sunday, the United States suffered its worst attacks in Pearl Harbor. Almost 3,000 Americans were killed when terrorists hijacked 4 commercial airliners and crashed them into the World Trade Center Citizens of 78 countries died in the attack. 2,763 were killed at the World Trade Center itself. 343 of those were New York City firefighters, 37 were Port Authority officers, and 23 were New York police officers. 189 more were killed at the Pentagon, and 44 were killed stopping that final attack by taking over Flight 93. Everyone who witnessed those attacks has a 9/11 story. This is mine. Mine actually starts August 28, 2001. That was the day before my first day of senior year at Tollhagen High School. I was in Harrisburg. I was getting ready to sign enlistment papers to join the Army. When I went, I wasn't really quite sure what job I wanted to do when I was in the Army, but I knew one thing. I wanted to jump out of airplanes. So the job that offered that opportunity was the infantry. If you don't know what the infantry is, it's the front lines. I called my parents, who knew that I was enlisting, but they were on vacation. They didn't know what I had signed up for. I was excited to tell them the news, and they were happy, but they were also scared. And I remember reassuring my mom. I said, "Mom, don't worry. It's not like we're at war." 2 weeks later, Tuesday morning, September 11th, 2001, I was in the hall between my second and third period class. I was headed to Mr. Voigt's Problems of Democracy class when other students in the hallway were talking about an accident, how a plane had flown into a tower at the World Trade Center. I hurried to class, and as I walked in, I saw Mr. Voigt. He was the teacher who always greeted you at the door and always had conversation, but he was just standing there, glued to the television. And as we walked in, we saw the North Tower smoking. Then we witnessed the second plane hit the South Tower. The rest of the day consisted of students getting called for dismissal, the rest of us watching the horror unfold on TV. The bells rang and we moved classes, but I don't remember anyone talking in the halls. At the end of the day, sports and after-school activities were canceled, so some of my friends went to a local diner, and we just sat there. We talked, we watched the news that was on, but I can't remember what we talked about. We all knew this would change everything, but we didn't know how much. And for me, it would mean serving in the War on Terror. I had the honor of serving in the 82nd Airborne and deploying twice to Iraq. I got to see the Iraqi people vote for the first time since 1958. I patrolled the streets of Baghdad, Mosul, and Tel Afar, making sure that it was safe for the people to vote and for kids to attend school. I think that was the first moment I knew I wanted to teach. Now, with the help of the GI Bill, I get to teach you. It is unusual how events will change and shape your experiences, even a tragic event like 9/11. So today, and on Sunday, the 21st anniversary, take time to ask your parents, guardians, teachers what their 9/11 story is, and take a moment to remember those who were lost. It is now my pleasure to introduce the string duet of Esteban Ruiz and Emily Holiday.
would like to thank all of the first responders for all that they do for our community. We have here with us today the Exeter Police, the Lifeline Emergency Services, and the Exeter Township Fire Department. Thank you. We are honoring one of our firemen today. I would like to introduce Chris Jordan, Deputy Chief of the Exeter Fire Department, to talk about the amazing work of our honoree.
Good morning, Exeter. What a beautiful day. Thank you for having us all. As we gather here today to remember and memorialize the tragic events that occurred on September 11, 2001, let us remember all the first responders that sacrificed their lives not only to help the civilians that were lost in those buildings, but also to help their fellow first responders that were friends and family. You see, in the emergency services, when you're a member of an organization for many years, putting your life on the line for the welfare of others, many friends are made. But many of those friends also become your extended family. That can certainly be said for Exeter Township firefighter Gil Morissette. Gil is an Exeter Township School District graduate and joined the Rifton Fire Company in 1986. He's been a member of the Rifton Fire Company and now the Exeter Township Fire Department for over 36 years. Through these years, Gil has given up his personal time for the safety and well-being of our community. Gil is one of the most dedicated and trustworthy people I know. If there's something that needs to be done, or someone that needs help, Gil is your go-to guy. These attributes have allowed Gil to hold numerous positions within the Exeter Township Fire Department, from firefighter to lieutenant to captain and assistant chief. I've personally known Gil since I was 7 years old. We've developed a bond in the fire service, but also outside of the organization. We've been through many emergency incidents together. We've laughed together, we've cried together. And I can still remember sitting on the front driveway of our rifle station as a young 22-year-old firefighter on the evening of September 11, 2001, crying and embracing each other, trying to digest the terrible events that occurred earlier that day. Gil has helped me and many others become better firefighters and better people. I'm honored and humbled to call Gil Morissette my friend, but also my family. Please join me in giving my friend, my brother, firefighter Gil Morissette, a round of applause.
thank the police department, the Lifeline Emergency Services, the Exeter Township Fire Department, and the men and women of our military for all that they do. Thank you to Mrs. Lake and the Emergency Service Club for the decorations, for string duet this morning, members of the choir and the band for their musical performances. Grounds crew, teachers, staff, and students, thank you for joining today. We'd also like to thank the members of our board and cabinet for their work in support of our school and community. We all need to remember 9/11 and all of the sacrifices of our first responders and the Americans affected by that horrible tragedy. This concludes our 9/11 ceremony. Please wait, and you will be dismissed back to your first period class. Please follow your teachers, and we will be dismissed from the back of the stadium toward the front. Thank you, Exeter.